Hello everybody, it is January 1st, 2022. We're at 7:50 p.m. Gonna get started here with this roll. These have proven to be a little difficult to unwrap. However, they usually have some pretty nice coins inside. This one is a 1961 Denver. A Lincoln cent. Brilliant uncirculated. It says it comes from the Corn Exchange Bank. That would be in New York. I'm going to go ahead and start peeling this stuff off of here. So I hope everybody's having a great day, a great weekend, and a great beginning to their new year. Wonderful 2022 it is. Had a little bit of rain this evening, changing the weather just a little bit from the 79 degree high temperature we had today. It was a record, I believe, by at least 3 degrees. Just now working the foil wrapper off of this roll. Those of you who were with me here a couple of days ago, this was supposed to happen on the 31st. However, I ran into a little bit of an issue with my back. Still haven't gotten that fixed, but I plow on. Not letting the back bring me down. Oh, Taco John, Robert Wukich, and Jessica. Back hasn't really gotten better yet, but I know it will eventually. Okay, so now we're down to the level of the tissue paper this was wrapped in. Let me turn my camera down just a little bit so we can see what's going on. And here we go. There we go. Now you can see what's going on in there. Go ahead and OK that. Alright, so now I'm going to work on getting the tissue paper layer off of the roll. A lot of these have been coming out with really nice toned coins on the inside. Not necessarily all of them, but I'm getting some good toners out of this. And here's that layer coming off. And okay, so this came from the Corn Exchange Bank, but it is a plain wrapper. There we go. So it's a 1961D, purchased in June of 1961, June 16th, 1961. Corn Exchange Bank. It is a coin auditing systems wrapper. That's the kind of machine that came around this. And I am going to get rid of the remainder of this wrapper so it won't be in my way. All this foil and paper wrapping was on this roll. Alright, there we go. And now, go through the process of using my handy dandy tool to open this roll. Fail-safe way of getting these rolls open. I've never had a problem doing it this way. Using this little tool, go around and pry at the paper and pick it outward. Then the roll will simply just unroll after that. I'm going to go with the wrapper over the coins, as I normally do. And there it is. All the coins out and ready for us to take a look at. Coin number 1. We'll go to Jim Fletcher. Hang on a second, let me Here we go, Jim Fletcher. We'll get the first coin in the roll, and here is that first coin for 2022. Jim Fletcher gets a nice RPM. There is an RPM for the very first coin of our 2022. Nice little RPM. 61D. Looks like a northeast and tilted. So it's 3 mint marks on one coin. So there's that. As soon as you can get this identified for me, Eric, I'd appreciate it so we'll know what we're looking at. Nice little 1961D. So it has a lower split serif, and it has a nice little stick looking thing coming out of the right side of the mint mark itself. Get a little bit more light on this. There it is. There's that, a penny hoarder. All right. Now zoom out now. We'll take a look at the rest of the coin. Some nice markers out there in front of the forehead. And a few nice markers above the Y of Liberty, right there on the neck as well. Large north and south die scratches on the neck. And we have nothing else. We're going to check the reverse on the first 10 coins of this roll, but beyond that, we're not going to bother with the reverses because, 1961D is just not known for double die reverses. So we'll give it a chance to show up. But we're not going to obsess on the idea that we could find a double die reverse. Because, well, that just seems unlikely. Coin number 2 now for Sureg. Sureg coming in. Second coin of the year, same die. Same die variety as the first coin. So we have a second example of this nice RPM. We're going to take a very quick look at the reverse. And we have the same die crack across the bottom of the upper part of the T. That's this right here. There's a die crack here that goes down to here, and then another one over here. It goes across the bottom of the top part of the T. Got some really strong east and west die scratches on the reverse. And this one's for Sureg, so we've got 2 coins, 2 RPMs. Nice start. Coin number 3 now. Coin number 3, I'll go to Marshall. Mr. Marshall. What does Mr. Marshall pick up? And looks like this one's going to turn out to be a normal coin. We have a die dot inside the tail of the 9 right here. That's going to count as a marker for us to know that we've seen this die before. So we keep moving around. And looks like we have a doubled eyelid. Looks like that could very well be a very sharply punched doubled eyelid there. So we'll take that into advisement that we may have a doubled eyelid. Hold this out, wait for the next coin to come out and compare that one as well. Make sure this isn't damage of any sort. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. This is coin number 3. Belongs to Marshall. And we have a double die reverse. We have a nice double die reverse. You can see it along the tops of all of these letters and united. Very nice 1961D double die reverse here. So we do have a reason to be checking reverses. There it is again, showing up on the N of 1. see how well it shows up on the initials. Not very well. Not very well. A little bit of extra thickness on the initials. You can see how the F is just a little thicker than it should be. You can see out here just a little bit of a separation on the outside edge of the G. But for the most part, this doubling shows best in the letters of United, especially the UNI of United. So there we go. We have a little, what appears to be a little minor doubled eyelid. We have a double die reverse. The doubled eyelid may or may not even be there. With no RPM, but we do have a died on the inside of the 9. So this one is a possible DDO DDR. Possible. I'll put this one aside from Mr. Marshall. See what comes up next. This is definitely a roll for which the dies I've not seen before. I don't think I've seen any of these before. And check the reverse on this one. Well, we just got good reason to be watching the reverses of this roll, so I guess we will be looking at both sides of all the coins in this roll. Reverse of this one has nothing, so Jeff Dunn. Coin number 4 is our first coin to walk out with, well, a goose egg. So here's coin number 5. This one goes to Malcolm. And Malcolm, not the RPM or the DDO DDR we've seen so far. Not an RPM at all. No notable doubling on the obverse. Flip it over and take a look at the reverse real quick. And nothing notable on the reverse. That's coin number 5 for Malcolm. Coin number 6 goes to Mac. I believe Mac is here this evening. I may not be. Here's a 61D. No doubling that I can see on the mint mark or in the mint mark area. Not a doubled eyelid. Let's see what we see up here. Alright, no obverse doubling. Check the reverse real quick. Let me back this out some. A little easier for us to look without getting seasick. There we go. Yeah, it's quite a bit easier. Gives us an immediate say, hey, you've got a normal coin there. So here's coin number 6. Now coin number 7. Coin number 7 goes to Taco John. And Taco John, nothing on the mint mark. Nothing on the eye. Nothing on the obverse. Check the reverse real quick. Nothing there. So Taco John pulls out with a normal coin here. We have any double die reverses listed at all for 61D on copper coins? If not, this could be an important coin as our first double die reverse listing. So far, don't have a second coin from that die. And no doubling at all on the mint mark on this one. It looks like a unfortunate mark where there would be a doubled eyelid. Let's check the reverse on this one. Nothing on the reverse. Yeah, and this one's for Farm Dog. Now number 9. Number 9. Stonecutter. Stonecutter picks up nothing on the mint mark here. Started out real strong on this roll, and it looks like we're falling back to normal. Falling back to normal tolerances. We've got 3 die varieties so far, and then another 5, 6 now, 6 coins that have nothing. And this would be one of those 6. Now coin number 10. Coin number 10, Paul Hampton. And Paul gets, these coins don't have any, oh, that is a nice RPM right there. These coins don't have any real toning on them, as I had kind of expected. But there you go, there's a nice, hello Carl. No improvement yet on the back, but I do have high spirits, so I had trouble getting out of bed again this morning. I actually went to bed at 8:45 last night. I got back up around 12:30. So my life is a little messed up right now. But that's okay. Every day is a new day, and every day is an opportunity for something to turn positive. All right. So that is our second RPM. Our second RPM for the roll. And we move on 12, let's say coin 11 now. Coin 11. 11. It looks like I have nothing on the date or the mint mark here, I think. Yeah. Nothing on the date or mint mark. Not a doubled eyelid. Okay, so nothing on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. Nothing on the reverse. That's going to be coin number 11. Now number 12. Number 12 goes to Mr. Carl. And Mr. Carl looks like has normal mint mark area, normal eye, no doubling in the motto or on Liberty, so you have a normal obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick and see. Got nothing on the reverse here. Yeah, that's Dennis, that's what Eric was saying. That would be really nice if we found an example of the only listed 1961 double die reverse. I'm telling you, these things are not common. That's for sure. We've only run into one example so far. And we have found a couple of RPMs in this roll, otherwise nothing else. I have not yet seen a second example of that double die. So we're doing this based on one coin in the roll. Hello, Mac. Coin happens to belong to Marshall. Here's Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher now, coin number 14. See if coin number 14 turns out to be anything for us. And nothing here. Nothing on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. This is an original bank wrapped roll. It was bank wrapped and then it was foil wrapped. Actually paper wrapped, then foil wrapped. So whomever saved this roll really wanted it to be very well protected, and it is. This roll was purchased on the 16th of June, 1961. Didn't know that until after we got through the foil and the paper and scrolled on the roll itself was the date. Not seeing anything here. Perhaps, possibly, maybe just a little wing to the east there on the bottom of the D, but I don't think so. This one's got a die crack in the hair. 'Tis a different die than what we've seen before. Move on to the reverse here and see if we have anything at all on the reverse to talk about. It should not necessarily be expected that we will see anything on the reverse. However, there is one double die reverse that has popped out of this roll so far. Now number 16, Go Wi-Fi. Go Wi-Fi gets coin number 16. Let's see what number 16 is. It's another one of the RPM, die number 3, the second RPM that we found in the roll. This is a second example of that RPM. Very nice rotated RPM. We'll go back and take a look at the reverse again. I don't think we're going to see anything here because, well, we probably would have seen it on the other coin. So nothing there, but Go Wi-Fi gets second example of die number 3 for the roll. Of course, die 1 was a RPM, die 2 was that double die reverse, and then die 3 is that second RPM. Here's Taco John for you. And Taco John, a little tiny bit of a Larry on this one. So there is a 1961 model fingerprint. Fingerprint on an original bank wrapped roll would mean somebody who was wrapping these had something on their hands when they were handling the raw coins straight out of the bag. And this one has nothing, so we're going to move on to the next coin. It's number 17, now number 18. Number 18 goes to Thomas Thomas. And Thomas gets nothing in the mint mark. Not a doubled eyelid. No doubling in the motto or on Liberty. So we have a normal obverse. And the reverse on this coin is also normal. So we have a normal coin. It's got to be number 18 for Thomas Thomas. Now number 19, Bob Hampton. Bob Hampton will pop up on this one. And have what looks like a fleck of metal, perhaps. Yeah, it's just a fleck of metal between the 6 and the 1. It's that Larry Sr., that's correct. Of course, most of our Larrys have showed up on coins in the 50s and 60s. Bob gets a normal coin there. Now coin number 20. Adam Connor. Adam, I will be picking up with our second show for the day directly after the end of this show. Take about a 10-minute break, come back, everything refreshed and ready to go for the next show of the day. Well, it's indeed a kind of interesting coin. However, it is just a normal coin for 1961D. And we move on to the subject of the show. Coin number 21. 21 now. Going to Eric. Let's see what we have for Eric. Well, it's a little bit of a die break on the inside of the 9. It's a little die chip. We have what appears to be a very minor doubling, especially on the upper serif on this mint mark. Perhaps. Let me get my light turned up a little bit so we can see this better. Well, It might have or it might not have. It is there, but it's certainly minor. This may be too minor to list. A very minor doubled upper and lower serif. Looks like there's a little doubling to the north on the inside of the mint mark as well. Just little tiny things, but you can kind of see them as long as you have a very nice coin, like this one is. Don't think that's going to be anything we'll be able to list, unfortunately, but it is a rather interesting coin. Ooh, got it a little bit too dark. Just a little bit too dark. There we go. Now, that'll work. The rest of the coin on this side got a little flake between the T and the R, a little flake between the E and the scalp. Other than that, everything seems to be fine, normal. Let's check the reverse here real quick. It's definitely not the double die we've been finding in this roll. No. The marker I've been watching for, was a die dot inside the tail of the 9. This one's for Mike. And he gets a different RPM altogether. This one's a nice looking RPM. We've got doubling of the vertical bar on the inside. And then we've got nice deep doubling on the lower serif. You can see it right there. You can get everything set here. There we go. Now focus. There we go. Now you can see it. And take a look in the eye area. Nothing there. Looks like nothing on the motto. Shows up as hub doubling anyway. And nothing on Liberty. I'll flip it over real quick and take a quick peek at the reverse. This is a later die state reverse than the other coins have been. Hang on. There we go. So it has a little bit of a die chip, a little die break at the right eave. Other than that, nothing else to observe on the reverse. We'll move on to the next coin, number 23. Now coin number 23 goes to Go Wi-Fi. And Go Wi-Fi. Well, this looks like the same as Eric's coin, with the chip in the 9 of the date, and not a whole lot else. It may have some very minor characteristics of an RPM, but they're too minor. Too minor to list. Take a look at the reverse on this one real quick. Make sure that we don't have any extra thickness or doubling in the areas that we most commonly see doubling on this era. And that's coin number 23. Now coin number 24 goes to Yeoman. Seeing nothing special so far. And on the reverse, nothing there. Next up, coin number 25 for Carl. Watch the weather forecast today. They're forecasting possibility of some rain this evening, but rain tomorrow. through to Monday morning. Now, here's the deal. We had a high of 79 here today, expecting a high of 71 tomorrow, and then a high of 45. Yeah, that's right, 45 on Monday. They expect the temperature to drop low enough Sunday night into Monday morning for some of our rain to be mixed in with snowflakes. That's right. So all those weirdos who like snow. There's another one of our die number 1 RPMs, doubled to the northeast and doubled lower serif. We are going to give them the opportunity to see a couple of snowflakes melt on the ground as it touches. That one's for Jim Fletcher. Yep, due for a very, very minor chance of snow. Not much of anything, though. Of course, knowing the area I live in, if they see one snowflake, they'll immediately cancel school for a week. And they will cancel all but essential travel for a couple of days with a road temperature of 75 degrees and air temperature of 35 and barely a snowflake or two eking out and falling through the air and hitting the ground as rain. But knowing this area, knowing what we go through here, it will be considered the blizzard of 2022. Alright. Another one of our RPM, second RPM. Nice low RPM too. I like it. That will be die number 3. I'm not going to look at the reverse on this one except under my lamp because to look at it under the scope takes up time, and we have already seen the reverse on this particular die pair. Here we go with coin number 29 now. Coin number 29 goes to Paul Hampton. I do believe I'm in your area, Robert. And it's going to be another one of the first die RPM. So we have yet another nice RPM for your collection, Paul. And that'll be coin number 29. Now coin number 30. Let's get another one of those double die reverses. This is Taco John. Oh, this is another different RPM. This one has a line going straight down through the middle of the mint mark and an eastern little hook. Has a die scratch going straight north out of the 9. No doubling on the eyelid. No other doubling on the obverse. I'm a little higher up than you are, Robert. I'm farther north, and I'm also just a little higher in elevation, I believe. Our elevation here gets up to around 200 feet above sea level. So I think you're below 100 feet above. Here's Carl. And Carl gets a die number 3. There's Carl Ignatz, die number 3 RPM. When I number these dies during these shows, I'm numbering them for that particular roll. These aren't actually the die numbers. This one could be RPM 41 for all I know. But what we're doing is we're numbering them because we don't know the actual die numbers, and we're ordering the coins by order in the die or in the roll that they were found. Here's what, take this real quick there. See, I'm putting them in stacks by die. And there's the coins I'm pulling from, and here's the part that you normally see. There, get this. All right, so coming up next, coin number 32. Coin number 32 goes to Yo-Man. And Yo-Man picks up a die number 1. Yo-Man picks up a die number 1 for this roll. So we have a number of die number 1, a number of die number 3, but we have no die number 2 other than this one single coin that Marshall pulled way back in the beginning of the roll. Coin number 3. Oops. Do not move the target. The target is stationary. Thank you. Now here's coin number... Oops. How about coin number 33? I flipped the name around the right way. It's going to be Mike Birchman. Sometimes the name's going there backwards and my OCD just starts doing tail flips. Back flips and tail spins. It's probably what the book of my life should be titled. Back flips and tail spins. Alright, nothing on this particular coin. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick to be sure that we don't have that double die, and this is not one of the double die coins. It's an interesting little die scratch coming straight up out of the F of the initials. Nothing here of marketable value. We'll keep moving along. A heat gun will work well with those old shrink wrap. Yes, a heat gun works fine. That's the best way to do it. Heat guns are actually not expensive like they used to be, so they're pretty simple to get. Heat guns used to cost between $100 and $200, and certain companies, I guess, saw that and decided to make them a lot cheaper because, well, all it is a heating element with a fan. I mean, it's not that bad. And so now you can get a heat gun at, I'm going to go ahead and say the name of it, Harbor Freight. If you have a Harbor Freight, you can get a heat gun there for less than $15. If you have Direct Tools sells a heat gun. You make sure you get one that plugs into the wall and doesn't have a battery. You want the one that's got the more power, because you need that higher power, that higher wattage for these rolls. But Direct Tools also has any Direct Tools outlet, which are mainly in the outlet malls around America. I'm going to have to shoot a video someday of how this works so I can publish it. But it's basically just getting gloves and a heat gun, and you pull back to 8-10 inches away from the roll, and you just basically blow dry the roll until it starts to get soft. When it starts to get soft, your coins will start falling out. That's it. Not a whole lot to it. That was coin number 36 for Go Wi-Fi. It was another one of our normal coins. Here's coin number 37. Coin number 37 now goes to Yo-Man. And Yo-Man will pick up... I'm not seeing anything here yet. Looks like it'll probably be a normal coin. Nothing on the obverse, nothing on the reverse. Just a normal coin for Yo-Man here. Number 38, Mac McBride. See what we get here. Well, it looks like this one's going to turn out to be a normal coin. No doubling on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. And this is not one of our double dies, as I had suspected it would not be, because it does not have the obverse markers. Now for coin number 39. Coin number 39, Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn gets, well, there's another die 1 for this roll, die 1 RPM for this roll. take a look at the reverse real quick and see if there's any issues. Nothing about the reverse. Nice coin for Jeff Dunn. And now coin number 40. This is Adam Chambers. Adam Chambers. Looks like an empty. It looks like we have an empty box here. Yep. Just a normal 1961D Lincoln cent. Pretty nice looking coin. Otherwise, no premium. Here's coin number 41 now. Coin number 41. This one's for Penny Hoarder. What do we have for Penny Hoarder here? Well, unfortunately, our next normal coin in the roll. Check the reverse here. Since we've only found one of the known double die in this roll, I'm going to have to check very closely on the reverses going forward, simply because I don't know exactly what a good marker is for that obverse. Really hard to pull an obverse only knowing the marker information off one coin. I usually like trying to do at least 2 to 3 coins before I'll take an obverse marker for a reverse or a reverse marker for an obverse, unless it's a very big obvious one. Got nothing on this coin. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Make sure it's not our double die. And this one is not. No hub doubling on this coin. And that one was for Marshall. Move on to coin number 43 now. 43 goes to Mac McBride. And 43 is... It appears it's going to be a normal coin. Nice, clean, early mid-die state. I see some of the characteristic markers here of the master die doubling for 1961, which is just a little bit of doubling in the motto on the obverse. It shows up on all 1961 coins to some degree. All 1961 Lincoln cents anyway, to some degree. That's coin number 43 now. 44. Next reveal is going to be right after this one by 10 minutes. We'll take about a 10-minute break and come straight back. I have 343, 344, and 345 scheduled for this evening. Plan on doing all of those before I take off for the evening. They are makeups for yesterday. Yesterday I was, in kind of a panic position with my back. It was really hurting. Today is a little better. I'm on a pretty stiff case of ibuprofen today. That's number 44. Now for number 45. Eric. Eric is up next, and Eric appears will pull a normal coin. Let's see. Yep. Another normal 1961D. I do feel just a little bit better today. I know I still have the same problem because, well, as soon as I come down off of this ibuprofen, it's going to hurt again. So I just kind of treat it like a headache or a toothache. Just keep feeding myself ibuprofen to keep the issue down to a dull roar, and everything's okay. Fortunately, I will be going Monday to see my guy and talk with him, see what he tells me. If he can do something about it, he will. If he can't, then I'll end up at the regular doctor's office on
Tuesday or Wednesday. Try to get some position forward with this. There's another one of our fourth die for the roll. Fourth die for the roll was a new 1961 D RPM that we hadn't seen in this roll before. It has that line going through the middle of the D. So we do have another RPM. We have a total of 4 different RPMs for this roll. Or, no, 3 different RPMs. 3 RPMs, 1 double die. The last one of these I pulled, I did not pick it out of the rolls, so I don't remember which coin it was. There's another one of them right there. Right there. Another RPM 4 for the roll. Die number 4 for the roll. That one's for Bob Hampton. I'm not doing 3,200, not even doing close to that. I'm taking 2 200s, which is 400 once every 12 hours, so that's 800 a day. You found a DDO? Penny Hoarder, 1972 DDO from one of the rolls that I sold. Awesome. Very nice. Love it when that happens. You say it's probably an FS 103? That's really cool. I appreciate it, Mac. Yeah, I'm far lower than that kind of dosage. Generally, when I have when I get a really bad headache, I take 2, sometimes 3. And very rarely have I ever taken 4 200s, which would be an 800. I did that when I was in the military because they would just give us 800s, and I didn't bother breaking them into pieces, so I would just take 800 every time something happened, and I realize now that that's probably overdosing to a certain point. Okay, Sir Eggs, coin number 50 is a normal coin, and that's what we've got, and that's it for this roll. So here it is. I'll spill it out for you. A bunch of normal coins there, but we also have 4 different die varieties. Of one of them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins. 7 coins for the first RPM we were finding in the roll, and then for the double die reverse we have 1 coin, number 3. Then for the second RPM that we'd found, we've got 4 of them, 31, 28, 16, and 10. And then I know there is an additional one in the roll, but I have 47 and 48 here for the third RPM, 4th die for the roll. I know there's at least one more inside the roll. So that turned out to be a pretty decent roll. I'm happy. And I'll be back in about 10 minutes to start up your next reveal. Next reveal is going to be it's a 1956 D roll, I believe. So I'll be back in just a few minutes.